Good evening. My name is Myeisha Hutchinson, and again, I am a lifelong resident of the Woodlawn Community in the magic city of Birmingham, Alabama. And I would be remiss if I did not say War Eagle and Roll Tide. That Roll Tide really hurt me. So, as Sally stated, I'm a lifelong resident. So my Woodlawn experience is a little unique. I grew up in a single family home with my mother being a single mother. It wasn't until about 15 that I realized that I grew up in an impoverished community. I never knew that because I was an overachiever in school, had a chance conference with all the other student government association, the nerd gang in high school, and I was told that I did not talk or look like I lived in Woodlawn. So that resonated with me, went home, talked to my mom, and I said, what does that mean? It means, she told me, Myeisha, do you not realize what's going on around you, that you've already overcome an environment that a lot of people don't overcome? So that just, fired up in me that I was going to make a different stigma with growing up in Woodlawn. Went to Talladega College, graduated, and came back home and got civically engaged, became part of the neighborhood association, the secretary. So I guess about 4 or 5 years ago, conversation comes up, people are coming up to me, the white people are taking over. What's going on, Myeisha? You got to find out. And I'm like, whoa, we got to find out what's going on. So I had a chance meeting with Sally and Gillian, and I said, well, I've got to go into this meeting being very honest with them. I've got to protect my neighborhood. I was very standoffish, and I'm going to see, are the white people taking over? So, of course, that's not what's happening. This is a very thoughtful, methodical process that I realized a lot of people were investing a lot of money in. They were investing their time and their talents. This is not sexy work, being a community organizer. I just so happen to be the head volunteer, and thanks Arnold for that. He was the head volunteer for 26 years, and I'm the rookie on the job. So I thank Mike and Gillian for having the vision. For 2 hours later, calling in me and asking me to be on the board, I thought to myself, they'll never talk to me again. But they've talked to me, and they push me, and I think we push them, but we're really changing what it means to live in Woodlawn. So it's my elevator speech around the city, and, I'm passionate about it because I'm a lifelong resident, and I'm thankful that someone is taking time out to put this together, to do this on the full-time basis that it deserves. Our urban cities deserve revitalization. Our kids deserve a chance. And this conversation over this weekend, over these next few days, it can't be about us and them. It's got to be about we working together to make it work. So, thank you to Purpose Built for letting me talk and do my spiel about Woodlawn. Again, big ups, Woodlawn. That's my hood, and I'm thankful for how my community is turning itself around. So now I give it to the vet, Mr. Arnold King.
I always get the opportunity to go behind a good speaker. I'm just so blessed to be here in Fort Worth talking about what's going on in Woodlawn. I'm like Myeisha said, I'm a lifelong resident of the Woodlawn community. I go back, it's like a phoenix. I was there when everything was going good. A lot of folks in the last 15, 20 years seen Woodlawn when it was down, but we were never down. We were just was without. We didn't have a vision. And this is not, like Myeisha said, it's in 2010, this has been a 15-year journey for me, because I remember when the apartment units that where the foundation is building on was ran down. It was crime infested. People would drive down the street and not even stop at the light. They would just drive right through it. And it took me back. I've been doing this for 28 years, being a volunteer. And my predecessor made me promise to her. She recruited me, and she said, I'm trying to find somebody that can have the same passion that I have for our neighborhood. And that's what I did with Myeisha. I didn't just step aside. You know, I tell people, when you're in a leadership position, it's best to step aside than be pushed aside. And when you step aside for a young lady like this, it's not like it's going to be a drop-off. She's taking it to the next level. And that's one thing that we can say about the Woodlawn Foundation. The Goodrich family came in. We had these discussions. They were so gung-ho about going on, but I met with them, and I was like, okay, I've heard this rhetoric before. We're going to come in and do this in your neighborhood. And I've heard all during the day about trust. And Myeisha, the same conversation that people came to her, they came to me first. And I'm a little bit different. I'm a lot older than she is, so I knew I knew the agenda of a lot of people that were coming in. You know, progress is like a train coming down the track. It's 3 things you can do. You can stay on the track and get ran over. You can step aside and watch the train go by, or you can get on board and enjoy the ride. Purpose Built has been a great vehicle to do great things in underserved neighborhoods and throughout, not just in Woodlawn, but throughout this whole country. We have an opportunity to leave a long-lasting footprint in the quality of lives of people in our neighborhoods. And it's not just what we do today, it's what we inspire not only in ourselves, but in other people. We are moved by not by words, but by action. We talk about trust. It's been thousands of people coming into hundreds of thousands of neighborhoods talking about what they're going to come in and do. And they end up taking from us. This is not the instance. This is something about inclusive, not exclusive. And I can say that when good people come together, great things can happen. And I look in this room, and I've listened to all the people talk today, looking at the films, I see a lot of great people involved in Purpose Built. And just imagine where we're going to be at 10 years from now. Thank y'all so much for inviting us, and thank y'all so much for including Woodlawn in this great project.